if you were with us on John's network or John's channel, Catholic for Rednecks, welcome back. I forgot to say when we redo it, we're coming to this channel. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, John just taught me how to go live without the help of my children, so I can interview more guests. And we did it on his channel, and we told everybody now we're going to go on my channel because he taught me how to be a guest, but I needed to learn how to be the host. So he just taught me how to do it. So hopefully I can remember. I told him to text me step by step everything we just did so I don't forget. So while we're waiting for everybody to join us, we had I don't know how many. We had a bunch of visitors. I noticed something here.
It is beautiful. There's a lot of
for everybody. So
well, if you want to, you can redo it and schedule it for like a little while later, and everybody.
I go to 4 o'clock. I go to 4 o'clock mass. No, I'm just kidding. I go to 4 o'clock mass. So I need to do. I actually really need to mow the lawn before I go today, and then shower and get ready for mass. So
I understand.
So hopefully people find this, but we'll just keep it going for like 30 minutes. I know. Okay, here we go. JR, my brother, what's up?
JR.
JR. The only time I seen JR, he had his head split open. Remember that, JR?
I'm still waiting for him to show up for mass for the first time.
No, JR's a good man. He's over the road. He's blue collar. He's my blue collar brother, man. We were talking when I visited him in the hospital over here in Orlando. He was telling me, like his job, man. He works a lot of hours over the road. It's hard, you know.
Yeah,
but he's a good man, man. He was a good man. He had a nasty split on the back. He had staples in the back of his head. It looked nasty. And I said, "How long are you gonna be out of work?" He goes, "As soon as they release me, I got to go back on the road." I'm like, "Yep, that's how we roll, brother. That's how we roll." Yep.
There's Monica.
Hey, Monica. Yep. She's been with us for a minute, right? All right, here we go. So you are live with Blue Collar Catholic and Catholic for Rednecks. So, Mr. Catholic for Redneck, what's been happening with you? I know you've been going through a lot of trials, but by the grace of God, you know what the devil means for evil, God always uses for good, right, brother?
Yeah, I hope so. They went up my rear end yesterday. They stuck the tube up my butt. You ever
Say that again?
Colonoscopy yesterday.
Dude, I get no respect. When I went for a colonoscopy, they stuck the tube in my mouth. No, that's Rodney Dangerfield. No, that's Rodney Dangerfield. He used to say it for, I guess he went for like a prostate exam. I get no respect. I went for a prostate exam and the doctor stuck his finger in my mouth.
Yeah.
So when do you get your results?
They said it looked good.
Oh, good. Good.
You know, you're supposed to go when you turn 50.
Yeah, that's what they told me. It's been like 9 years. I haven't gone. I'm 50. I'll be 59 in a few months.
Well, it's a deadly cancer.
I know. I need to go. I know.
It's probably one of the most preventable cancers there is. It's like dying from a lack of getting a haircut.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. That's the word. That's the word of wisdom. Welcome back, everybody. I see you. Well, I forgot to tell you guys we're going to do it on my channel. My bad. But we just started. You didn't miss nothing.
Well, they went up my rear end.
Except John's colonoscopy, but you probably didn't want to hear about that anyway.
Well, my doctor looked like a 20-year-old female.
Oh, that's even worse. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And I'm thinking you're going to spread my ass cheeks apart.
Oh my goodness.
And run.
I don't want to hear this. No, I'm sorry, John. When I said what's new with you, I didn't mean to hear about this.
Okay. I'm having throat surgery Tuesday.
No way. What are they going to do?
Well, what they do is it's the other hole they go in. My butt will feel disconnected. They go in my throat, and there's the new surgeon I'm using. He's from India. And he's
okay. He's what?
He's a whiz kid.
Yeah, they all are. My priest is from India. He said he's going to be a doctor and engineer, but God called me to be a priest.
And what they'll do is go into my vocal cords, hopefully, and just laser off these places that grow on them.
So you get
And
like growth.
yeah, they're precancerous, and then they biopsy them right there. I mean, literally, they
Wow.
carry them down the hall, look at it under the scope,
Do you go
and
to
cut.
sleep when they do that?
Do what?
Are you awake when they're doing that?
No, hell no, man. They knock you out good. I,
You wimp. I don't even
I
get
love it.
Novocaine when I get a tooth pulled. You kidding me?
Well, you
No.
go. What they do is my anesthesiologist. He's Catholic. I went
Uh,
through RCIA with him, and he says, "You ready to hit fast forward?" And he puts the thing on my face, and then the next thing
You're
I do,
out.
honey,
You're Michael
honey.
Jackson sleeping. Yeah,
I
that's how he
love
used
it.
to go to
When
sleep.
it didn't work yesterday, they told me now sometimes this don't knock you out.
Oh my
Wait
goodness, that's
for it
scary.
to kick in, and
Wow.
they're in there, man. They're in there scooping my butt with this hose, and they got a big TV screen, like a widescreen TV at a sports bar, with my butt on the wall in front of my. You're over on your which way? You're on your left side, right?
All
And
right.
some places they flip you upside down and they spread your ass apart.
Oh my goodness.
They stick a tube, it goes all the way up, all through these organs, and they're like they got a light in there, and they're looking for polyps, tumors,
Oh
things like that.
goodness.
Then they clip them off and send them off to the
I,
lab. But see, there's so many people that's died of colon cancer needlessly.
I don't know. After hearing this, I think I'll take my chances, bro.
Yeah, it didn't hurt. It
I
didn't
just
hurt.
eat a lot of fiber.
What
No,
hurts
I'm
is
just
the
kidding.
day
I'm just.
before when you got to drink a gallon of this stuff that tastes like dog pee. You
Oh.
drink a gallon of it, and it kicks in after about 30 minutes, and you start. I mean, you have blowout after blowout on the toilet.
So,
You will be
hey,
so raw and sore from
hey,
sport.
if you just tuned in, I just asked Catholic for Rednecks what's new, thinking he was going to give me some spiritual wisdom. So just so you know, I didn't plan this. Hey, we did two videos, one on his and one on mine, back to back live, and nothing was scripted. Actually, when did I text you? Like an hour ago. I said,
Yeah,
"Hey, you want to go live? Can you teach me how
no,
to go live?" And you're like, "Yeah,
you
let's do it."
you arrogantly told me what time we're going live. If I had plans, if I could anything, you just said, "Hey, we're going live at 12:30." I said, "Okay, your time or mine." That
Yes,
was the
yeah,
indication I got. That's your
I'm
Navy
guilty.
coming through.
I'm guilty. John's been bugging me for 2 years to go live, and I'm sitting here, I'm sitting here alone, thinking and praying, and I'm like, you know what? I got to stop being afraid of this. If God's calling me to go on YouTube, so I go, John, when you go on, what I say, John, when you do live, do you use your phone? And you're like, yeah. I'm like, all right, let's go live. How's 1:30?
No, man,
And he's like, my time or yours? I forgot where you're an hour behind me, so it was 12:30 there.
yeah.
So I mean, you could
Hey,
have said no. You could
Blue
have said no,
collar, I
bro.
cannot tell you how much I despise the Georgia Bulldogs. Okay, I call them the leg humpers. You ever had a dog lay into you before? You ever
Oh
had a
my god!
dog grab a hold of
Oh,
your
I
leg?
hate that. Someone's giving away a poodle doodle or a golden doodle, real cute little dog. My wife's always want one, but they're way too expensive. If someone's giving one away, uh, they're just waiting. They already offered it to someone else. If they say no, we're going to take it. And she said, I just hope it's 11 months old. I just hope it hasn't gotten to that habit of humping your leg. We just actually had that
Yeah,
conversation this morning. Yeah, that's what they said we got to do.
they'll lay
So
into you in a
that's
minute.
funny. That's the first time I heard that said in years, and I heard it this morning. Now you just said it. I don't know if that
Did you
means
see
something.
Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase?
It's been a minute, brother, but Chevy Chase was hilarious.
We had
I
that old
remember from
dog.
Saturday Night Live. We used to, in my stoner days, we used to get high and Bill Murray, Mr. Bill.
Well, he talked about
But I
that dog. He
remember
said
the vacation.
they said
Say
if he
what?
grabbed a hold of you, just let him finish. Remember?
Yeah, yeah. Now I remember.
Just
Yeah,
let
now I
him
remember.
work.
You're right. That was funny. Yep, that was funny. What's up, Blue Collar Joe? He just emailed me, texted me the other day. He's a new Catholic, so pray for Blue Collar Joe.
Blue Collar Joe. Hey, I'm
Yep.
not an Alabama fan. My oldest son, graduated from Alabama, but I'm an Auburn fan, and Georgia has been thumping us. I mean, the last 20 years, Auburn's probably beaten them 3 or 4 times. In the last 20, I'm disgusted with it.
Do you want to hear something funny? When I came down to Florida, my next door neighbor asked me who my football team was. And I said, the Giants. Because I'm not talking about pros, I'm talking about college. I'm like, dude, I grew up in Jersey. We had nobody but Rutgers. It was
Yeah,
you like the Giants or the Jets. That was your only choice.
yeah. They don't like my neighborhood. All my people here in my neighborhood, they don't know. They don't care anything about pro football.
Yeah, no, that's why in Florida it's like either you're down here, either you're a Knowles fan or you're a Gators fan.
Yeah.
And they hate each other. They literally hate each other.
Well,
My
amplify that. Amplify that. We're on the level of Hamas. I mean, Hamas and Israel. I ain't kidding, man.
No, I
They
believe it. I see it down
still
here with
fight
the
over
Knowles and
here.
Gators. Yeah, that's
We
yeah. No, they. You can't marry someone from if you're a Gator fan, you can't marry a Knowles fan. It's just
well, Alabama fans look down on everyone as garbage. Everyone. They look down on all of mankind as garbage, but they lost their coach. Their Catholic coach retired.
yeah, yeah. You're gonna see change. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna get that fanny whooped lots of
Do you
times.
know my favorite professional coach was always Don Shula? And did you know the year that he went undefeated? He went to daily mass. He went to
I believe.
daily mass that entire
But he
season.
going.
Just one day.
Then he
He didn't.
quit going and look at him.
He's dead.
Yeah. Hey, Blue Collar Joe, I do like the Hurricanes. Okay. Look, Blue Collar Joe, he knows what this means. Do you know what this means, Rob?
No, no, I'm a pro guy. I don't like I said, I grew up
You
with
don't know
the
what this
Yeah. Hurricane.
Yeah, the
Oh,
U.
okay.
It's a nice
Yeah,
stadium.
they're not. I guess in South Florida they're popular, but in Central Florida, because the Seminoles and the Gators aren't too far from Orlando, so
The
that
Gator
everybody's Seminole or Gator. Yeah, yeah.
crying Tim Tebow.
Actually, I wasn't a college fan, but when my daughter was young, I always wished that she would marry Tim Tebow. He just seemed like such a good kid, and she
Yeah.
always laughed. If I could just introduce Tim Tebow to you, he would fall in love with you. She's like, I think you're in love with him.
Okay, look, the
Yeah.
U. Now look, Blue Collar Joe, I've
All
been
right.
to the U in I've been to Salt Lake City. I've been to the University of Utah. I think it's Estes Stadium, if I'm not mistaken. And I've been
Well,
to Utah State. I think it's in Logan. I've been to BYU, which is in Provo, and they got a barbecue joint in Provo. I forget the
dude,
name
you're a
of
red
it.
man.
It's good. And all the girls had their undergarments showing. When
That's
I went,
funny.
you know what undergarments are?
Yeah, I think I do underwear.
Yeah, Mormons wear holy
Oh
under.
yeah. Oh, you're talking about the Mormon. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, I had a
Utah's
friend.
Mormon state.
They
Black. You can't say that, Rob. Trying to get channels shut down. You cannot say that anymore.
so he's like my close. I don't have like close friends I really hang out with, but he's like a work friend. And my wife calls him my work wife because he texts me more than she texts me.
Right.
So and he's deeper on the Trump train than I am, believe it or not. But anyway, so I love this kid. His name is Edward Anderson. He's wonderful dude. Um, but he became a Mormon like years ago, and I'm like, bro, are you kidding me? So I send him the pictures of the Mormon underwear, and he's like, dude, you're killing me. Stop sending me this stuff. Then I told him, do you know Mormons think that black people are from the devil? And he's like, dude, he actually texted me, dude, you're effing me up now. Stop this. You're effing with my
They
mind. I'm like, I'm serious. He eventually left the Mormon church, and he's a baptized Catholic. And I think he was thinking of coming back to the church, but after COVID, he just got fed up with all the churches closing, and he's out. But anyway, that's how I knew about the. They thought black people were evil, you know. up until like the civil rights movement, when they were getting sued for discrimination, and they're like, "Oh no, the prophet said they're not evil anymore."
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Unique.
but I knew about the undergarment. The undergarments, that's some weird stuff, bro. Right?
Yeah, I guess
And
it's like wearing a.
I haven't. I forgot about that. I'm gonna ask them because they don't. They seem like so normal and professional, and I just wonder if they wear that. But they're
They,
supposed to always wear, right?
we do the same thing, except we're wearing tiny underwear garment called a scapula.
Ah,
Okay,
okay, there you go.
picture a huge scapula that covers your whole body. And,
There,
you know they, we think Mormons are wacko, and as you say, evangelicals think that we're just as wacko as the
yeah, yeah,
Mormons.
great, yeah, yeah. You're right.
Think we're
That's true.
rockers.
That is true. That is true. But we know Jesus started our church, and we know Joseph Smith started their church, so it's a big
Yeah.
difference.
Now, if you get in a discussion with some Mormons, they'll say, "Hey, Larry," some Mormons will tell us that they'll say the Mormon church and the Catholic church are only two churches with apostolic authority. They'll say that.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, because they believe that Jesus, through Joseph Smith, restored the apostolic church.
But didn't Joseph Smith say that every Christian was an apostasy, that every church was an abomination before God, that he had to restore the whole church, I think.
No, that was me. I said that about. Yeah, that was me. Don't give Joseph Smith my creds.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I think Joseph Smith said it too, though.
Yeah,
You
well,
might have said it first because you're older than him. He was born in the 1800s.
yeah,
Ah,
he was a Mason. He's a Mason, and
yeah,
a
he was
lot.
based. Yeah, there's a Mormon temple, not a temple, I guess they call it their church down here. But you can see all the Mormon stuff on the side. I mean, all the Mason imagery on the side of it.
Well, our whole Washington D.C. is Mason, the way it's set up,
Yeah,
and our
that's
bills and everything.
yeah, that's pretty
And
amazing.
our founding fathers were Masons and deists.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? I did some research on our Mason founding fathers, and they were all members of the Anglican Church, the
Yeah,
Episcopalian Church. And isn't it interesting that Taylor Marshall was an Episcopalian priest, and 6 months later, dude, he was ordained, and people are like, "Oh, people change, people have conversions." But imagine you're going to be a priest in the Episcopal Church, the Anglican Church, and within 6 months you enter the Catholic Church. He literally becomes Catholic, like, where you enter the church on Easter, he becomes Catholic 6 months later.
mm-hmm.
And in my church, it takes a minimum of 6 months. If you catch it at the wrong time, it could take like 9 months to become Catholic.
Me, it took me over a year.
Yeah, see? And I
Mm-hmm.
hear that from a lot of people. So, how are you ordained a priest in Anglican? That's weird. And then he's always talking about the Masons. And the guy, David L. Gray, who invited me on, who was a Mason, said he doesn't know what he's talking about. He thinks he's a CIA plant, thinks he's a CIA plant. And what he means by that, it sounds far fetched, but he believed, he was a high ranking Freemason. He said the CIA sets these plants in places to cause division. So they want to divide the Catholic Church. And if you watch Taylor Marshall, he's like the master at dividing Catholics. So it sounds weird. I've never been like one of these conspiracy guys. I always say follow the money.
Yeah.
I don't follow conspiracy. Usually follow the money. And Jesus said it too. The root of all evil is the love of money. So normally I don't follow, but this guy was a Freemason, so he knows what he's talking about. And he says there's CIA plants that divide the church, and he believes Kennedy Hall and Taylor Marshall are two of the most prominent on YouTube. And it would make sense, you know.
Well,
So
it's we do it in CIA, nation building
yeah,
and
so yeah, it does make sense.
yeah.
It's crazy, weird, but it makes
Oh,
sense.
it's funny because I went to. This is funny. If
Oh,
any of my family's watching it, they might get mad. Yeah.
uh, yeah, I get my family mad sometimes. I
Hey, we
say
need a sponsor. We need a sponsor for this show right here.
Omni Energy, baby.
Blue Collar Joe, much about Ted Marshall, but from what I've seen, I'm not impressed. I went to TLM last night. It was beautiful, but his love for schismatic is really unnerving. Yeah, I'll tell you why I don't go to traditional Latin Mass. It's real easy. there's a buttload of EWTN people that go there, and I don't like them. So that's why I don't.
EWTN at your house?
Yeah, all the seeds from EW. Yeah, EWTN's right over there,
Okay.
right over there, 10 minutes from me.
Wow.
Yeah, I worked there. I worked there for a
Go
few years.
evangelize. Go
What?
evangelize. Go evangelize them.
Well, the fryers on there are great. Hey, Francisco, the fryers are the best in the world. I know most of them. I know some of them real well. And one of their big wigs lives. I can show you their house. Hang on. Let me move this. I
Hey, they
hope they
might
ain't watching.
they
Hang
might say
on.
this is boxing. I don't know if we could do this.
You see that house right there?
Who lives there?
One of the big wigs from EWTN lives right there,
That's
across the
interesting.
street from me.
You
Okay.
over to
Right.
barbecues and stuff, watch college football, have a
Well,
beer.
actually, Mother Angelica hired a black dude named Fred,
Okay.
her
All right.
first employee from day one, and he dates the chick across the street that works there that's a bigwig. Okay, so Fred, Christmas Eve when I got home, he's the stage manager. He runs the studio. He's the studio boss at EWTN. So Fred comes, he's always over there cutting the grass and stuff. I see him all the time. I walk in Christmas Eve, this past Christmas Eve, and then he starts beating on my door. And I open the door and there's Fred. I call him Tall Fred because he's real tall. He's a black dude. And they had their garage door open at that house I just showed you. And there's like 80 people in the garage and they're playing uh, Mexican Christmas music full blast because they're all Latin, right?
Oh,
He's
cool,
over there
cool.
begging me to come to the party. And last thing in the world I want to do is go to an EWTN party. Okay. These guys fired me. Okay. They fired me. Hey, they wrote me up and suspended me for 3 days with no pay for defending the Catholic Church.
Wow.
A
What,
supervisor called me
do you
to the
remember exactly
office.
how it sounds? Like,
Do what?
do you remember exactly what you said that got you fired?
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to say what I said because they put their lawyers on me already, said they'd ruin my life. Okay.
Wow. So
And we
somebody's
for
asking,
you.
somebody in the chat saying, "What's up with EWTN?" And I'll be honest, I never have cable or HBO or so usually like I just get whatever's free on TV. So I don't watch a lot of TV. So I never really, honestly, never really watched EWTN. So
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't know. I see some of these guys like Aurora on Fox sometimes, and he's bashing the Pope, he's bashing the church. So I
that's
kind of
what
get
it was like
that feel.
working there. That's what
And
it
then
was like
I
there.
seen now I seen a guy I like on YouTube, Marcus Grodi, and I actually interviewed his son, Father Grodi, and I like them guys. They
Yeah,
they
but they're
seem
not at.
like
Look, those guys live in Steubenville, and that's all done
okay.
remote, like me and you are doing. Now the Friars,
Okay, so they're not part of that EWTN cult, maybe.
the Friars there are the greatest people on earth. Father
So it's just
Leonard,
everybody there. It's just some people there that are.
the people that run it, the Protestants, they hate the church.
Wow.
Yeah. Now Mother Angelica, she's a saint. I love her. Um, I've got a YouTube on my channel where I believe she visited me 4 different times when I was working the night shift.
No
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Oh, you got that.
But two doors down, the vice president of the Pacific Northwest lives. That's her house, two houses down.
Okay.
And the number two person at EWTN lives that way down the street from me.
Wow.
So I got three of them. So no, they. What happened is one day, one of my supervisors saw my Instagram page, and I'd posted something that rubbed him the wrong way because he's evangelical, like half of them over there. And
Wow.
he calls me. This is on duty. Calls me to the office, right?
Yeah.
And and I get in there, and he wants to debate what I posted on Catholic for Rednecks Instagram, and we
Wow.
get into it, right? We get into it. Well, he reported me, and they suspended me for
What
3 days no pay.
dude, that's a girly move, man. Come to me man to man and tell me what's up. Don't be freaked.
Yeah,
Wow.
suspended me without
Dude,
pay
that's
for
like
defending.
dude, it's dude, that's like a little a little girl, man. That's like
I looked on my sleeve, and
that's like
I was
great-
in there at
that's like
HR.
great.
I was in HR, human resources, and I was saying, because I had EWTN patch on my sleeve. I said,
Yeah,
a global Catholic network, and you're writing me up for
for defending
defending
the
the Catholic
church.
faith to a
Wow,
Protestant co-worker that's harassing me. I've never been so harassed in my life as working there. I
wow,
wanted to die. It was so bad.
man.
Yeah.
So you have that going on, and you're feeding your mind with Taylor Marshall poison. No wonder you wanted to leave the church.
Hey, the cameraman would be bashing the Pope out loud while he's filming live shows. He'd call me
Unbelievable.
over there, and I'd go over there to him, which I didn't like to do because there's a studio audience, and he'd be dropping the F bomb loud enough for the whole studio to hear, cussing out Pope Francis with the F
Wow,
bomb. So I'd go
horrible.
sit on the other side of the studio to stay away from him. That's
Wow.
people I dealt with every day, and it was wrecking my faith. Now, again, let me clarify: I'm not talking about the guys, the friars in the brown pajamas you see on TV, bathrobes, the guys in the bathrobes. I'm not talking about them. Father Mitch,
Oh,
uh,
Father Mitch. I love Father Mitch. I didn't know he was
absolutely
part of
fine.
EWTN, but I love
I was
him.
his driver. I drove for him a lot. Love them. Uh, some of them come over here and hang out. Friends. Father Leonard did part of my son's funeral.
That's the
Like,
big guy.
yeah,
Yeah, you
and
sent me a video of him. I really liked him. You sent me like a
I
little short video he did.
yeah, I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking about the guys behind the scenes. You know, I'm not talking about the on camera people for the most part. But
Okay.
anyhow, no, there's a bigger issue that came up during COVID, and I called them out about it, and they called me like the next day and said we're parting ways. And then I got on
Wow.
Facebook and talked about it just a little bit, and their lawyers, man, they got in touch with me. And what'd you say, a New York Minute?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They said we will crush you. We will crush you. This, can you believe that?
Hey, that's horrible. But my daughter's here. Say hello, Becca.
Hey,
Hi.
daughter. That's not your daughter. She's too pretty.
And yeah, she got a look
When did
from her
you call
mom.
the
And
doctor?
Jack, my grandson. Hey, Jack.
Hey, dude. How old are you?
He's
How
amazing. He's on the phone. Jack is 4. He knows. He's
old?
the guy that teaches me how to do stuff on the computer.
Well, you're
But
good.
I'll put you guys in a minute, okay? So, but yeah, they said they would crush you. They actually used those words.
Well, it's a cease and desist they sent me. And I went to confession to talk to Father Bean. You ever heard of him?
No,
He's pretty famous. Google Father Gray Bean. He's pretty famous. And I went to
bean,
see him,
bean.
Bean, like Jack and the Beanstalk,
Okay, cool.
like butter beans, lima beans. Okay.
Butterbean. Butterbean
I
was a
went
good
to see
back.
him.
Butterbean in the UFC.
I won't tell you what all Father Bean said.
Yeah. Okay.
Father Bean, you think I should just say it? Father Bean says it from the pulpit. Okay. You think I'm bad? Father Bean will let it rip from that pulpit. He
Wow.
will.
I heard
And,
Baptist preacher Charles Spurgeon would say things that offended people from the pulpit. Some people just feel like, I guess, they need to make a point, and
well,
sometimes language makes that point.
Father
So
Bean cussed from the pulpit in his
that's
sermons.
crazy. I
And
can't
look,
condone that, but I can understand. I can't condone it, but I could definitely
let
understand.
me tell you something about Father Bean, okay? He's the
All
most
right.
popular priest in Alabama. And you can send him to any Catholic church that's struggling and let him be there for about a year, and they'll be building a sanctuary about 8 times bigger than the one they had. I'm not kidding you.
That's awesome. Yeah,
There's a lot of jealousy. Hey, he
yeah.
packs the house. And when you go to mass there, most times you are laughing during a homily so hard that you'll have tears rolling down your cheeks. But he'll say exactly he's got no filter, none. And so I went to confession. He held outdoor confession. He'll get his like a lawn chair and stick it out in the driveway of the church, and there'll be a line of people drive through confession around the block. I keep
Wow.
He'll stay out there for hours. He's a great, great guy. He's all tatted up, and he
Oh,
smokes and pipes, and he's he's totally. But I remember one lady, her cell phone went off during mass. He ripped her. Don't you bring that damn cell phone in there again? He said that from the pulpit. He's a character.
hey, that's my pet peeve too. I never bring a cell phone in the church. I
But
mean,
everybody's
oh,
on there doing nowadays. You're on the readings.
oh my goodness, I'm always
And he
afraid.
don't know it. He don't even know what a cell phone is. He don't have one. You think you're tech dumb? Father Bean, he don't. If you ever write him an email this long, after about 3 weeks, he'll answer you in 3 words. That's all you'll get. God bless you, John, and that's it.
That's hilarious. That's funny, man. That's too funny. So, so what's going on with you're doing like these evangelical outreaches I see on your channel all the time. Going to Atlanta?
Yeah,
Is that
we were going to Atlanta last Tuesday, and my mother-in-law passed away the week before. I had the funeral.
sorry?
Um, what else? There's like 10 things happen. So, some people sent in some money. What I want to do is pay for the gas and pay for the printing. And also, I kind of wanted to get a hotel there so when the event was over, we could spend the night without having it. You know how it is when you get to be our age driving at night. You
Hey,
know, you see
hey,
4 headlights. When there's a motorcycle coming towards you, you see 8 headlights,
hey,
right?
I don't know how old you are, man, but I could drive at night.
Hang on to that thought. How old
Nah,
are you, Rob?
okay. Hey, so when I was a milkman, I started at midnight, so most of my time was driving at night. Then my last 2 weeks there, I had to cover a route. The dude started at 8 o'clock at night, so I had to start at 8 o'clock at night till 10 in the morning. So,
You
but yeah,
wait a couple more years. Wait a couple more years. You'll be blind as a bat at night. So anyhow, I raised the
like,
money.
but now I get it.
I raised the money. I still got part of it on that account. Okay. So what I'm going to do is the problem I got is my son's PTO. He's going with me, but my PTO, I'm having to take off all these days for surgeries and
Oh, yeah.
treatments, procedures, and then the host is Matthew, is Matt Poole, unapologetically Catholic. That's his podcast, Instagram. He's hosting it, and I just had an idea, and I've talked to you about it before. Thank you about the shirt. Um, what you do is you go get a questionnaire and you just type out like what's the 5 or 10 most stupid questions or thoughts people have about the Catholic Church.
Oh,
Because
there you
my deal is you can stand out in front of the Baptist church right down the road and poll people, take these surveys. They won't pass a single question. When you ask them straight up, where did your Bible come from? How did Constantine start the Catholic Church? You're asked about five. They're going to miss every question.
You're
And
right.
so when they take the survey, you're not there to argue or debate. So, would you like to take a survey about the Catholic Church? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So you just ask them the questions. And of course, you're marking wrong on every one of them. And you hand them, so we flunked the test, and the answers are on the back.
Nice. Ah, that's
That's all
brilliant.
you do.
That
That's
was your
all.
idea.
Huh?
That was that was your idea.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant, man. That's very smart.
That's all you do now. If they want to talk about it,
Formed. Awesome. I like that.
yeah, it's just a low key thing, and you just tell them, look, dude, you missed every question on the test. Here's the answers. If you're interested, here's the answers.
Nice, nice.
Then let the Lord handle it.
Amen. Hey,
So,
Tony Javille, he's a cool brother. Goes way back. He's a brother from another mother. We grew up in the same neighborhood, but in different cities. Me and Tony. And he says David's sunflower seeds will keep you up while you're driving. So I don't know if that's like a code word for uppers or what.
well,
I never. I'll have to Google that when we get off the air.
I don't. I like sunflower seeds. I do like them, but
David sunflower seeds. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if that's code word for speed or what. Nah.
I, when I was a police officer, I had a hero. Okay, he'd been there a few years longer than me, and he was a true badass, a town tamer. I mean, he's the kind of guy that should have been born in like 1880 and really and lived in Arizona. I mean, he'd be in prison today for the stuff he'd do, but everybody was terrified of him. And every cop in Birmingham had a man crush on him. Okay, he was a beast, and he took you'll like this. He took me to a tea party. You know what? You remember those? The Tea
T-
Party movement.
like a THC party?
Tea Party. The Republicans. Remember the what was
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. We're talking about David sunflower seeds. So I got that in my head. Oh yeah, yeah, the Tea Party. Yeah, yeah. I remember. Yeah, yeah. I was
yeah,
a tea. I went to a Tea Party rally once.
before
Yeah,
Trump? It was the MAGA before
yeah,
MAGA.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah. Party.
so
Yeah. That's where we got Rand Paul, Marco
right,
Rubio. Got a couple good guys. Ted Cruz.
Sarah Palin and all them people. So
Yeah, yeah,
he came and picked me up. We went to the Tea Party, and there's thousands of people there, and it was really good and patriotic, kind of like going to a Trump rally.
yeah,
But
yeah.
left when it was dark, and my hero there hit every curb on the way home. He turned down the wrong street, and we hit traffic circles. You know, traffic circles.
Oh no.
He couldn't figure it out, man. We was bouncing off curbs. I said, "What's wrong with you?" He said, "I can't up and see no more." He could not see. You know, he was
Hey,
like 50, 55. He could not see to drive at night.
that's funny. I'm like really bad with directions because my mind is always wandering. So like I go to a place 20 times, but I'm not thinking about where I'm going. I'm thinking about a million other things. So like route guys generally, yeah. So generally, like I run routes, I deliver stuff, sell stuff. Generally, route guys are really good at direction. And like when my supervisors would run with me, they would be like, "Dude, why are you using GPS? You've been on this route for like 3 years." So then
Yeah,
sometimes I try to impress them and not have the GPS, and I pull into like a Circle K. I'm thinking I'm pulling out the same driveway that I pulled entrance I pulled in, but it'd be one on the other side. And I get out and I'd be like totally lost. I'm like, bro, I got to put my GPS on.
see me.
I could never be a route guy without GPS. Years ago, I worked for Pepsi without a GPS. And they'd give me like a 12-hour route. It would take me 16 hours. They're like, what is wrong with you? I work with you. You move fast. You're slinging the cases faster than anybody, but you take 16 hours. I'm
Yeah,
like, giving me bad directions because they would give you like stick figures. They would draw you a map.
like
So,
Matt Quest. You remember that?
yeah, MapQuest. Yeah, yeah. But
You
once
had to beat it.
became a good
Turn
route.
right, turn
Yeah,
left, go
yeah, yeah.
8 miles. I hated it, man. Hey,
Yeah,
try
no.
being a policeman and trying to read a map book on the way to
Oh,
rate progress.
when
You
I got
would.
out of the Yeah, when I got out of the Navy, I was going to be a cop in my hometown of Irvington. That would have been perfect. I knew the street inside and out, but that didn't work out for a number of reasons. But yeah, that would have been. But if I was in a town that I didn't know the area, forget it. I would be lost. It'd be
Yeah, we got a.
one of the
We,
cops. They say, "Man, I called the cop an hour ago. He came with donuts," and I'd be getting lost.
we had map books. I'm not kidding. We had map books, like an atlas.
Wow,
You're trying to read those streets.
are you serious?
Yeah, you'd be getting a home invasion call. On a home invasion,
A map.
shots fired, and
Oh my.
couldn't nobody find it, man. We'd be doing 130 miles an hour and
Oh
get
my.
20 minutes after they were gone, they'd cuss us out.
That's
Cuss us.
crazy.
You took your sweet ass time getting here. No, man. I hit a land speed record trying to get here. We could not find.
Dude, yeah, we had running routes. We had route books, and if the guy before you didn't speak good English, I had this one guy, Jose, he's a friend of mine, but his English is not very good looking, and he wrote the way he talked, and he would instead of saying turn on Main Street, he would say pass Main Street and go 3 blocks and turn left, stuff like that. So I would read his route book and be lost constantly. So yeah, I can just imagine trying to get to a call in 2 minutes flat.
Uh,
But
I tell you what you need, Rob. You need a miracle drug called Adderall.
dude,
You
I heard so.
handed it.
Have you ever taken it? Because I worked with a guy that took it. He swore by it. He said, bro, this is amazing,
It
and
is.
he's perfect with it. But every drug has side effects. I don't take any drugs, bro.
Side effects is taking 16 hours to do a 3 hour job, Rob. That's a side effect.
Dude,
Which one do you want?
dude, what Adderall does for you is just sounds amazing. But I want to find a natural way of doing that.
There
Um,
ain't one.
so actually, nitric oxide brings oxygen to your brain. When I take nitric oxide, a lot of the bodybuilders take it to make their veins pop out, but because it opens your veins up, but it also opens your brain up. So nitric oxide, I think, is like a natural Adderall, but I still get lost. But you're
Well,
saying you take it and it helps?
look, I'm not
Okay.
on it. I'm getting some Tuesday. I've been on it before because my brain is like yours. You can sit still for 30 seconds,
Yeah.
right?
So
And for
yeah, people are amazed that I can't do YouTube. Like you've been doing YouTube for 8 years. How come you can't go? My friend said to me the other day, he goes, Rob, you remember church councils verbatim from 1,000 years ago, but you can't do YouTube. I said, yeah, certain like stories and jokes I can remember verbatim. I know I tell jokes to my grandsons that I knew in kindergarten, and I
yeah,
remember yesterday. But certain things I just can't. If I'm not interested, my mind just can't focus. Like
yeah.
so, this job, my boss sent me a hand cart, to bring it in. And you got to put it together. I'm like, what the freak? What's he think? I'm Bob the Builder? I don't want to put a hand cart together. There's nuts
Yeah.
and bolts. So I've been carrying the stuff in by hand until one of my kids come over to put it together. And it
Yeah.
sounds stupid. A lot of guys like, oh, it's easy.
I'm the same
But
way,
I
Rob.
like
Yeah.
that.
You know the movie The Spy That Shagged Me?
I know of it, but I haven't seen it, man. There was a time in my life I didn't watch too much, and that was like that time I didn't
My
watch too much.
doctor put me on Adderall. He said, John, he said, what it's going to do is going to slow you down from 800 miles an hour to about 20 miles an hour.
But who
And
wants that going
being,
hard?
instead of you being on the interstate bumper to bumper, you're going to be the only man on the road. He said, your brain is overflowing and it's like 5 o'clock traffic, rush hour. That's what your brain is. And Adderall is going to slow it all down where you can laser in, right?
So,
So the first night on it, man, I sat through like 3 full-length movies without saying a word or getting up to pee or anything. I was just like,
sounds like acid. Have you ever done acid? I've done acid
hey,
before when I was a
it's
kid.
legal meth.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Yeah, it's
Well, it's
like
funny.
four.
A bottle of amphetamine.
Yeah, it's four different amphetamines that blended together. I think four different amphetamines, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the only bad side effects I have seen to it is it makes me like gnaw on my lip.
Well, what about your heart? Speed ain't good for the
Oh,
heart.
it'll make your personal part uh be less engaged too. If you get my
That,
drift.
that's a major side effect, but this is a family-friendly.
I'm just
yeah,
no
yeah.
kids watch my channel. I keep up with the analytics. I don't have
So,
any kids here.
yeah, actually, most people that watch mine are older too. I noticed with the
Yes,
analytics.
we're older. We're older. See.
Yeah, so I guess we don't attract the young kids, dude. When people disagree with me, like they're now like the big thing is they call me a Pope splaining boomer. I had to Google what the heck's a boomer, but
Yeah.
I guess
So
it's old.
Tony there says I was in the special education classes back in the day, and there was nothing special about them. Me too. And guess who's a special ed teacher now?
You sent me some of those videos of your class. You have them doing push-ups.
Oh yeah, they're
He's got
fun.
kindergartners doing push-ups.
It's great. It's a lot of fun. It's
Good.
a lot. I missed
Well, I'm
my
going to
call.
tell you a secret I haven't told anybody. I've been praying about it, but our wonderful governor, and we got the best governor in the country. His name is Ron DeSantis, and he's a veteran. He was a naval officer, Iraq naval officer. I think he was a JAG officer, lawyer in the Navy.
That's if you consider the Navy military.
Hey, there's a branch of the Navy. There's not a branch of the Marines. You know that, right? You know the
No
Marines.
way with it.
What?
They're doing away with the Marine Corps.
Nah, that's a lie.
No, it's not. Look,
It
if
can't be
you
true.
Google this, look, I'll send you some links later. It's all over the internet, even government links. We are planning for a global naval war with China in the year 2030. And it's going to be a naval war. And what they're doing is they're going to take the Marine Corps as you know it now, and they're going to shrink it to where they man like computer outposts on the rim of the Pacific that
Hmm.
or gaming. They're going to be gamers. They don't even have to go to boot camp. They want to get these neck beard high tech guys that can launch missiles and drones.
You always have to have people that can kick indoors. You
That's
always.
called the Army. They're gonna split everything down to where you got an Army and a Navy, and they're gonna put everything the Marine Corps does over on the Army side. And they may blend the Air Force and the Navy, I mean the Air Force together with it, but it's called Force Readiness. Force Readiness.
Because I haven't. Oh, I hit something. You good? Yeah,
Hundreds of things.
I had I had a guest on Dale Comstock. He was a Delta Force operator in the Army, and they're like 10 times better than Navy SEALs. I mean, and I was in the Navy, and I honestly can say that. I mean, Force Recon guys can't get into Delta Force half the time because it's so hard. This guy was a Delta Force operator for over 20 years, and he told me a lot of interesting things. He says right now China is mapping out all of Asia. Taiwan, he actually has a security company he's the president of in Malaysia. He said they're mapping it out like underneath the ground with the submarines. So he's saying the biggest threat is China, like you just said. So maybe there's something to that. But I do have a friend that's in the Marines now, so I'm gonna see if I can get a hold of him and ask him. The last time I talked to him, he said they were debating whether they were going to change how they addressed officers because ma'am and sir may be offensive to some. Imagine this is Joe Biden's America.
Yeah, I
That
don't
the
think what you
Marine
know.
Corps. I could see the Air Force maybe debating this, but the Marines debating if they're going to call someone sir or ma'am. This is crazy. This is
Don't
Joe
get mad.
Biden,
Don't get mad at me because I voted for him 3 times. Okay,
Donald Trump. I know. No, I know.
but under his watch is when all that woke stuff started in the Marine Corps.
Oh, it started before, and he just didn't. He had so many problems he didn't get a chance to address it.
I,
He was deceived by Mad Dog Mattis. He heard Mad Dog Mattis' name, and he thought that he was a tough guy. And Mad Dog Mattis was just a liberal Pentagon guy like
yeah,
everybody else.
you see what Lou just said right there on the last comment.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
No, oh yeah,
If you'll notice when Washington thinks we might be getting into a war, they change the commercials on those recruiting ads. They go from being woke like that, where they're sitting around reading nursery stories and helping young kids learn how to read in the military, to the Soviet kind, where they're doing
yeah,
push-ups,
yeah,
running.
yeah, yeah. And then also I seen two Marine. Speaking of Marines, I seen two Marine recruiters talking about uh, they can't recruit anybody, even with bonuses. They're offering like huge bonuses to go into Marines, and they can't get people. He said, number one, nobody wants to go in because they know it's woke and it's very, it's becoming gay. It used to be you go in the Marines, you knew you were challenged and you came out a better man. Now, they want you to be woke and gay and feminine and all that. He said, but number two, he said the education system is so bad. He says, I have people with bachelor's degree that can't even pass the ASVAB. Bro,
I,
I dropped out of high school and passed the ASVAB.
I had
And
an eighth grader. I had an eighth grade student the other day couldn't find Florida on the map.
yeah,
I
it's
hit
sad.
her up and I said,
It's
point
sad.
to Florida. She couldn't do it, but that's probably the average for females across the board. They could be medical doctors, and like my wife, if you told her to get in this car and drive to Orlando, Florida, God help, she'd be in Seattle or
Yeah,
El.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They hate when you say south or north or east or west.
She couldn't find it. Hey, one time we were
But
following each other from Tulsa to Birmingham, right? She was ahead of me, and the signs are saying Memphis on I-40. You're in Little Rock, Arkansas, and you got one sign that says St. Louis,
all
and the
right.
other sign says keep going this way to Memphis, coming to Birmingham. Where does she go? Right in front of me. Here she hits that St. Louis. I got home about 4 hours before she did. Got like halfway to St. Louis before she realized she was in Missouri.
You
You know
didn't
what I'm
call
saying?
her. You didn't call her and tell her.
Those were 4 cell phones.
Oh, okay. All right.
I
That's
have a
funny.
clue. Not a
That's
clue.
funny.
I said, do not get ahead of me under any circumstance because you'll get lost.
Yeah. So like on a large level, I could south, north, and all that. It's that when we're talking about being bad with directions, I meant like if I'm in a city trying to remember, you know, every street. Like I have some guys, they're born with a GPS in their brain, Especially usually rednecks, man. They come out of the womb shifting gears, got a GPS program in their brain. They go, I was with this one guy and he's like, you don't remember how to get there? You went there
Mhm.
last week. I'm like, yeah, one time. So you
How were
could go.
you raised, Rob? You were raised in the inner city with no cars. You walked everywhere and took a bus. How
You're
would
right.
you know to get anywhere? You
No,
got
you're right.
on the bus or the subway and they
Yep,
took you there themselves. You didn't have to use any directions. Just get
yep,
on the subway.
yep. And we didn't have to go fishing. If you wanted to fish, you went to the supermarket and stuffed it down your pants and walked out with
We did that.
it.
We did this called shoplifting.
Yeah, yeah. So, but man, so what else is going on with you? Because I see it's getting late. I got to get ready for mass.
You better go.
Yeah. So, what else you want to tell people, man? Because I think now this is going up on my channel. So tell my people how they can find you. Because I just do YouTube.
Yeah.
Like you're one of those high tech, one of these
No, what it is, my son,
fancy pants high tech guys. So tell
uh,
everybody what you're on.
my youngest son, Brian, has an Instagram page, Catholicism,
Love it. I love his page.
and he's got a pretty big following. And I just get his scraps. You know what I mean? I'm
And
serious.
what do you do with his scraps?
If it wasn't for him, I'd have 5 subscribers on everything. If that.
So what do you do with his scraps? You put it on your Instagram page?
Well, his people, he'll every now and then he'll post something. Follow my dad at
Okay.
Catholic Rednecks, and I'll pick up 1,000 new subscribers. And then on YouTube, I ran a video of my priest doing a procession.
I seen that. You
And
got like 2 million views, right?
yeah, I wrote on there a caption, His Majesty. He tore me up over that. He came to my house and chewed me out. Got on me for it, but it got millions of views.
I seen that.
He said I was at the National Mall at the pro life thing. He said I had priests from all over the world calling me Your Majesty because they saw it. So the YouTube channel went from like 3,000 to 25,000 in like
That
2 weeks.
overnight. I was like, whoa.
It, it ain't me. It ain't me. I mean, nobody watches my YouTube.
So hopefully people are watching it now because we're on it.
Yeah, but they're watching me because I'm on with you.
No, that's not true.
All right,
Hey,
I
so,
do.
so you have Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook?
See, I'm okay. You have to look on Facebook, see if I'm there. I'm not sure if I'm there or not because I haven't logged on Facebook since last year. I hate Facebook.
Do you have
They,
Snapbook and Face Chat? No,
Catholic
just
Rednecks. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, which TikTok is like light years ahead of YouTube. Something to
yeah.
think about, Rob.
But aren't the Chinese using that to
Your
spy?
phone is Chinese, dude. Your iPhone was built in China. They already got your stuff.
Yeah. Well, you know what they say, you can't get blood from a stone anyway. I had when my kid was little, he shot a BB gun through a neighbor's window, and I went over there. I made him pay for, I paid for the window, and then I made him mow our lawn for the summer. And then I get a call from a lawyer that she's suing me because when he shot her window, she fell down and broke her ankle. I said, I seen her that day. She was fine. And he said, well, uh, I just need to know, do you own your house? And at the time, I didn't. I said, brother, you trying to sue me? I said, you're better off getting blood from a stone. I said, get in line.
Yeah.
He said, well, do you own the house? I said, you're the lawyer, do the research. And I hung up on him.
There you go. I tell them I ain't doing your work for you. Find
Yeah.
out. Bye.
But yeah, I don't know how we got on that subject, but man, it was fun talking to you. We'll definitely have to do this again. I appreciate the training, but I'm not on Adderall, so you're gonna have to text me step by step how to do this again. And I got some pretty cool people besides you. You're the coolest, but I have some other cool people. David Gray, John Turk. I'm forgetting some names that wanted to do some interviews with me, and now that I can go live, I can do it. So
It'll be great, man. I'm glad, Rob.
So
Uh,
thank you, man. Appreciate your help, brother. And I just want to say publicly, thank you for being a good brother. You always, for some reason, man, you always looked out for me. You always looked out for me, and always looking out for my channel, giving me shout outs, and I've never done anything, to deserve it. I don't know why you're so nice to me, but I appreciate it.
I appreciate it, Rob. You go see your grandkids
All
and get.
right.
I love you,
Uh,
brother.
God bless. So I
Bye
just
bye.
hit the end, right?
Just hit in.
Hey, thanks for checking in, guys. Love you all, man.